Alright, so let's talk about Windows privileges, how they can help us in Windows privilege escalation, what are they, and how do we check what privileges we have, right? And how we can exploit them. So we will talk about all of these stuff in this video. So let's just start the video. So what's Windows privileges? First of all, these are like special permission linked to each of the account that is present on the device, right? So when you are doing some certain task on the Windows, it will check what permission exactly you have to the account you are using or logged in into, right? So right here you can see the analogies. When you are logged in into a normal user, you can do just the basic stuff, basic action, and when you we will check how we can see the privileges, like what privilege do we have, when, and based on that we can say that we can perform some special actions, right? So right here, as you can see that in this line, even if you are a regular user, but you have some specific and some special privileges, you can perform those action. So over here you can see some common privileges that we will be exploiting all of these. One is the backup privilege. This let us to backup any file. Let me actually open this one. Yeah, so this one, yeah. So if we have this privilege, we can like read any single file that is present on the system. There will be no restriction for us. So if we have the read permission, we can simply extract the information from the system file, or those files that have some special stuff inside it. We can actually copy that and use it for privilege escalation. Another privilege we have is the restore privilege. This let us, if like for example I have this privilege, I can write any single file without any problem. I can just easily replace system files or registry without even any restriction or error while logged into a low privileged guy, right? And if we have this take ownership privilege, we can just take ownership of any single file, literally any file on the system, even inside the system32 directory. So we can simply remove the legitimate executable with our malicious one, and it will just run a system level. And if we have this impersonate privilege, this is something related to the token, like after running some process you can act as a different user that has higher level privileges. I don't know about this much, but we will cover it in the next video. The next one, we have the assign primary token privilege. So this is again related to some token stuff. In this video what we are doing is we will be just focusing on this one and this one, and in the next video I will be focusing on this one, this one, and this one. Okay, so if you want to check what privileges do we have, we will simply open a command prompt or a PowerShell and type this command, whoami/priv command. This will give us output like this and tell us what privileges do we have. And in the state column you can see some are enabled and some are disabled, right? So if you see disabled, it does not mean you don't have the privilege. It just means you have to open a command prompt with administrator so that it will be enabled then. And those you can see enable, you can just simply even perform those stuff, those action, even if you have a command prompt that is not elevated or administrator, right? One more important thing is that you need to have administrator command prompt that has the admin level permission, so that this will help you in these privilege escalation, these special privileges, right? And I think this is more helpful when you get the administrator shell by exploiting some weak configuration or DLL or some stuff. And once you get that, you can, to gain a system level access, you can just come over here to these privileges, and then you can get a system level shell, or you can just perform any stuff. And if you don't see, these are not all of the privileges, there are a lot. I can just simply show you. Let me just type cmd with admin rights like this, and if I type who am I/priv, you can see there are like 4 or 5, and if you see these, there are like a lot, right? So if you don't see any of these, like in this case, it just means you don't have the permission and it's disabled for you, even if you have the administrator shell. So together these both let us to read and write any single file on the system without any error or like any stuff. So as you see right here, the vulnerability we will be trying to exploit is that since we have the permission to read any single file and also replace, so what we will be doing is we will be copying the critical system files such as this security account manager or SAM. I don't know what this file is exactly, but I think this file has some system stuff inside it that will help us. And another one is the system registry. Have this contain all of the registry, which also include the encrypted user password hashes. So once we get that, we will use those password hashes to log in without having the plain text password, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hop into one of the lab where I can do this exploitation stuff, and I will see if I have this permission or no, just for verification. And next what we're gonna do is we will make a backup of this file and this file. So this same file contains user account information and password hashes. Once we make a backup of this, it needs some key or some stuff that will help us to decrypt and see the password hashes and information, user account information. So the key or whatever that will help us to decrypt these information is present in this file, right? So we will also make a backup of this and we will use those key or whatever that is to decrypt these same hashes. And once we get that, we will try to log into any user that is present. So we will open a command prompt and make a backup of this same end system file to any output place, and we will then somehow transfer those two files to our attacker machine and we will do the analysis over there. So I am on the compromised machine that we will be exploiting those restore and backup privileges. Let me just open the command prompt and see what privileges do we have exactly. So I'm just gonna type cmd pro, yeah, like this, and then I'm just going to open it as administrator. Okay, the password we have is copy master. Yeah, we have the command prompt with administrator, right? Let me just make it big so you can see it more clearly. Yeah, I think it's much better now. So what we're gonna do now is who am I to verify what privileges do we have. Yeah, we can see that we have the backup privilege and also the store privilege. So we will be copying those same file and the system file. So first of all, we're gonna save the same file, that is reg, this means registry. Say we're gonna save this registry. Let's just specify the path HKLM and the /SAM, and we're gonna give us the output directory that where we want to save this file. So let's just save it users. You can just put anything over here, and we have successfully made a backup of this same file. Now it's time to do for the system file. So all I do is to edit this thing is to into HKLM and just need to write system over here. Bro, no, it's I made a mistake. I have to make the backup of same file over there in this directory, and then yeah, I need to overwrite it. Now I need to make a backup of the system one. So let me just write system dot hive, and also I need to write system over here. So I will be done now. System much better now. So we now have two files over there in this directory. Yeah, just to make it conform, I type dir, and in this location we can see system.hive and the same.hive. Now we will need a way to transfer these files to our attacker machine. So to transfer these files, we have actually some different method. One is the SMB server, and another is like the HTTP one. So we will be going with the SMB server. Now what we will doing is first of all we will go to our attacker machine. And alright, so what we're gonna do is I am on the attacker machine, and first of all I will try to create a new directory where it will store all of the file or served from the compromised device. So we have created this directory. This is where the file will be stored when we transfer it from the compromised device to this machine. And then let's give it all permission to this directory, chmod 777. This just means it will have permission for read write executable to this specific directory. tmp public hyphen share, it's public. Perfect. So now we are starting the SMB server. Because we are making it public, we don't need to give it some credential, and this is the path of the directory that the file will be stored, and this is I don't know for what. So let's just press enter and see what we're gonna get. Yeah, I think it started now. We can just go to the, let me just clear this, and since we do have the file already on the desktop, let me just do dir this one and this one, ignore this one. Okay, we can just now easily write this thing like this. This will copy this same dot hive into this attack box and this directory. Bro, it's like for some security reason it is not letting me to transfer the file. Let's see what we do now. Oh, so we are getting this error because we need to credential for login. So let's go back to the attacker machine, and where is the terminal? Like this. Let me just close this, and what we're gonna do is copy. This is the password master 555, and the username would be thm backup. Now we can just go back to the compromised machine, and let's do that command again. So now I need to type user and this thm backup username, and here I will type my password. So the password is copy master 555. Bro, what's the correct syntax then? Oh, finally it's just moved to the public directory, I guess. Okay, perfect. We have moved those two files. So what we did is so over here what actually we did on this machine is we first of all made these two copies as you saw earlier, and then we use this copy command and the file name and to this attacker box IP and to this directory that we made to store the file that we will be transferring it from right here to there. And on the attack box what we did is, let me show you. Okay, what we did over here is that Yeah, so what I did is created a new directory in this place with this name, and then I gave it to read write execute permission in this command. And what I did next is I first run the SMB server without any credentials. So when I went to the compromised machine, and over there I tried to copy those files to this directory, it just stopped for security reason and said we need uh, credential of the system. So then I over here came to this attack box and add those Windows credential. Let me actually show you. Yeah, so over here you can see I started the SMB server again, but in this at this time I added those credentials. This is that window user, and this is its password. And then I ran this two command that I show you, and boom, we got the files. Now we have got the file. What we're gonna do is we will extract the password hashes. So for that we will use, this is some, I don't know, another tool or what's it, but this will help us to get the password hashes. So we will be using this tool to on the same hive and the system hive. This will give us like this output. Let's actually copy this and go to that machine and see what we're gonna get. Let me copy this and go over here. I can just stop this now and cd slash temp slash public share. Perfect. Now you can see we have got those two file, and let's just run this command. Okay, what's wrong now? Let's just do this, I guess. This one worked. So we got this output. Let's see what this thing is. We got a bunch of information like this, as you saw in the machine, like this. So this is the username, and this is some stuff, more information. The most important thing over here is the NTLM hash we have over here. This look like this, and it will just tell us that, oh, what's the NTLM hash for. In this case it's for the administrator account. This is more like gibberish kind of password for this administrator account instead of the plain password, right? So what's the NTLM that we got? So over here, right, you can see this is the NTLM hash for the administrator account. You can see right here. And now we will be using this and we will be actually performing what's called the pass the hash attack. And this attack we actually use the hashes to, instead of the plain password, we use the hashes to get access to the system. So what we're gonna be doing is we will use the secretsdump.py tool. This is Impact, or I don't know what this Impact thing is, but the tool we will be using is the Impact tool. And so hyphen hashes mean we are using the hashes, not the password. And then we will specify the lm hash. We will just give this a hash. This just mean empty or some random hash. And then we will be specifying the NTLM hash that we go for the administrator account, right? So now I'm going to this copy this command, and then I will go to the attack box. I will also get the NTLM hash, and let me just copy this, and let me just open the notepad so I can just edit this command easily. Okay, let me paste this. And basically what I am doing over here is that I am trying to make this command correct and put my NTLM hash for the administrator account. I will be copying it from there right now from the terminal, and then you will see what I am doing. Just look at the screen what I am trying to do. Now as you saw, I put the NTLM hash and correct the command. What I need is the attacker actually the compromised device IP. So I move to the Windows, and I will just type the ipconfig command. This will just tell us this IP. I need to copy this and put it in the command. Let me just go to the notepad and put it over here, and now my command is done, right? Now so you see that we got some error in the commands. What I did is I copied all of the logs and went to the grok and give it and told him that what's wrong with the command, and he just give me the correct one. And then I came back to the terminal, and you see right here I entered the command, and actually we get the connection uh, as administrator from that compromised device. And what I did next is I typed the who am I slash priv command. No, actually I typed the who am I command, and you can see right here on the screen that it's the system level permission. So hopefully you understand all of these stuff. Next video we will talk about another privilege exploitation, right? So see you in the next video.